Have you ever stepped out of the shower feeling a little dizzy, your heart beating faster than usual, and thought to yourself, maybe it's just because I'm getting older? What if I told you that something as simple as the way you shower, the time you choose to walk, or even the way you sit in your favorite chair could quietly raise your risk of a stroke? It sounds surprising, doesn't it? But small daily habits, the ones we hardly notice, can sometimes carry the biggest dangers. In today's video, we're going to uncover those hidden risks. 7 shower habits, 6 walking mistakes, and a few sitting positions that can silently stress your heart and your brain. And most importantly, I'll show you the safer choices you can make instead. Choices that protect your independence, your energy, and your time with the people you love. Let me share a story. One of my patients, a gentleman in his early 70s, used to shower every night just before midnight. For years, he believed it helped him sleep. But one winter evening, he stepped out of the bathroom, told his wife he felt lightheaded, and minutes later, he collapsed. At the hospital, doctors confirmed he had suffered a stroke. Something as simple as the timing of his shower had tipped the balance. That's why I'm here with you today. Not to frighten you, but to guide you gently, like a caring friend in a white coat. Together, we'll walk through the habits you can adjust, so your everyday routines become a source of safety, not risk. So take a deep breath, sit comfortably, and let's begin this journey towards stronger health. One small habit at a time. Let me share another story with you. One of my patients, a 70-year-old gentleman from Ohio, had a habit of taking his shower just before midnight. He believed it helped him relax and sleep better. But one cold winter night, he stepped out of the bathroom, told his wife he felt dizzy, and minutes later, he collapsed. At the hospital, scans showed he had suffered a stroke. Why did this happen? Because at night, when the temperature drops, your body cools down as well. And when cold water or a chilly bathroom hits you suddenly, your blood vessels tighten very quickly. Think of your blood vessels like old garden hoses. They are no longer as flexible as when you were younger. They are stiffer, more fragile, and less able to handle sudden changes. Instead of stretching smoothly, they clamp down, forcing your heart to push harder against the pressure. This is not just a story. Research from the American Heart Association shows that sudden drops in temperature, combined with high blood pressure, are leading triggers for nighttime strokes, especially in people over 60. So what can you do? Here's a simple comparison. Showering after 11 p.m. with cold water, blood vessels constrict, stroke risk rises. Showering before 9 p.m. in a warm bathroom, using gentle warm water, circulation stays steady and safe. The lesson is simple. You don't need to give up your evening shower. Just move it a little earlier and make sure your bathroom feels warm and comfortable. Small adjustments like this can make a big difference for your heart and your brain. So next time you prepare for a shower at night, ask yourself, is my body ready for this, or should I wait until tomorrow morning instead? What about you? Do you usually shower late at night? Or have you already made the switch to earlier, safer showers? Share your answer in the comments. And now let's look at another habit. One that may sound refreshing in the morning, but can quietly put enormous stress on the body, the cold morning shower. Many of us love the comfort of a hot bath. It feels soothing. It eases the muscles. It calms the mind. But here's the hidden risk. When water is too hot, your blood vessels expand very quickly. That sudden dilation makes your blood pressure drop. And when pressure drops too low, your brain and your heart may not get enough blood. Think of it like traffic on a highway. If cars slow down too much, congestion builds up and the flow becomes weak. In your body, that sluggish blood flow makes it easier for clots to form. And if a clot blocks blood to the brain, a stroke can happen. Let me tell you about my older brother. He is in his late 60s. After working in the garden, he often rewarded himself with a long soak in the tub, sometimes 30 minutes or more. One evening, after a particularly hot bath, he stood up and suddenly felt faint. Within moments, he collapsed. Thankfully, he was rushed to the hospital in time. Doctors explained that the combination of vessel dilation and low blood pressure had nearly triggered a stroke. That day changed the way he thought about relaxing in the tub. This is not just personal experience. Research published in the journal Stroke has shown that hot baths can cause sudden changes in blood pressure, especially in older adults with high blood pressure or heart disease. So the science is clear. Comfort can quickly turn into danger if we stay too long in hot water. Here's a simple comparison. Soaking more than 20 minutes in very hot water. Vessels dilate, pressure drops, blood flow slows. Limiting your bath to 10-15 minutes with water warm around 98-100 degrees Fahrenheit, 37-38 degrees Celsius. Safe, steady circulation. The lesson is simple. You don't have to give up hot baths. You just need to set limits. One practical tip: set a timer in your bathroom so you never lose track of time. So let me ask you this. Do you usually spend more than 20 minutes in a hot bath? Or have you already made the switch to shorter, safer soaks? And next, we'll look at another small but powerful habit. Something as simple as drinking a glass of water before your shower. Here's a habit that seems so small, most people never think twice about it. Taking a shower without drinking water first. But let me explain why that matters. As we get older, our bodies lose water more quickly. And when we don't drink enough, our blood becomes thicker, what doctors call viscous. Thicker blood flows more slowly, and that slow flow makes it easier for dangerous clots to form. Think of it like honey versus tea. Honey moves slowly, sticky and heavy. Tea flows easily, light and smooth. You want your blood to flow like tea, not like honey. Research proves this point. One large study showed that people who drink less than 1.5 liters of water per day have a 21% higher risk of stroke compared to those who stay well hydrated. That's a big difference, and it comes down to something as simple as water. Let me give you a real example. A lady in her late 60s told me she often skipped water in the evening, thinking it would help her avoid waking up at night. But one winter, she fainted in the bathroom after a shower. The doctors explained her blood was too concentrated, her circulation slowed down, and she nearly had a stroke. From then on, she made a new rule for herself: 1 glass of water before every shower and 1 glass right after. Since then, she says she not only feels steadier, but she also sleeps more peacefully at night. Here's your simple checklist. 1 glass of water before your shower. 1 glass of water after your shower. It's not just a drink, it's protection for your brain. So let me ask you, do you usually drink water before showering? Or is this a habit you still need to add into your routine? And next, we'll talk about an even more important moment to listen to your body. The times when you should never step into the shower at all. There's one mistake I've seen too many times. People step into the shower even when their body is already sending them warning signs. Let me tell you about Mrs. Johnson, a 68-year-old retired teacher. One evening, she felt unusually tired, a little dizzy, and complained of a mild headache. But she didn't want to skip her routine, so she went ahead with her nightly shower. Minutes later, she collapsed on the bathroom floor. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she had suffered a mini-stroke, what we call a TA, or a transient ischemic attack. A TA is often called a warning stroke. It doesn't cause permanent damage, but it's a strong signal that a major stroke may be coming. And the body often gives us clear warning signs. Sudden dizziness, blurred or slurred speech, weakness in one arm or one leg. These symptoms may last only a few minutes, but they should never, ever be ignored. If you ever feel this, stop everything. Call your doctor. The shower can wait. The lesson here is simple. Your health is more important than any routine. Sometimes the bravest choice is to pause and listen to what your body is telling you. So let me ask you, have you ever ignored feelings of dizziness or weakness, thinking it was just age, and pushed through with your routine? How will you handle it differently now? And next, we'll talk about another moment when timing matters. Why showering right after exercise can quietly put stress on your heart. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for your heart. Walking, stretching, light aerobics, these are wonderful habits. But here's a mistake I see often. Right after finishing a workout, many people rush straight into the shower. Let me explain why that can be risky. When you exercise, your blood vessels open wide to carry more oxygen to your muscles. Your body also loses water through sweat. That combination, dilated vessels and mild dehydration, means your blood pressure is already lower than usual. Now imagine stepping into a warm shower at that moment. Your vessels expand even more and your blood pressure can suddenly drop too far. This sudden drop may leave you lightheaded, dizzy, or in rare cases it can trigger a collapse. Think of your body like a car engine. After a long drive, the engine is hot. If you shut it off immediately, it doesn't cool down smoothly. It can strain the system. Your body is the same way. It needs time to settle, to recover before the next step. Let me share a real case. A man in his early 70s used to jog every morning. One day after his run, he went directly into the shower without resting. Within minutes, he felt weak and nearly fainted. His doctor explained that the sudden blood pressure drop was the culprit. Since then, he always takes a short rest first, and he hasn't had the problem again. Here's a simple comparison. Showering right after a run. Risk of sudden low blood pressure. Resting 15 to 20 minutes, drinking a glass of water, then showering. Safe, stable circulation. The lesson is clear. Exercise is a gift for your health, but it needs a gentle ending, not a rushed one. So let me ask you, do you usually shower right after exercise, or do you give your body those 15 minutes to rest and rehydrate first? And next, we'll look at another hidden danger. Why showering right after meals or medication can silently strain your heart and your brain. Here's another habit that many people don't think twice about. Taking a shower right after eating a meal or right after taking medication. Why is that risky? Because after you eat, your body sends a large amount of blood to your stomach and intestines to help with digestion. At the same time, a hot shower pulls blood toward the skin to regulate body temperature. That means less blood and less oxygen reaching your brain. When you add certain medications, like blood pressure pills, the effect can be even stronger. The combination of digestion, medication, and showering can push your circulation out of balance. Let me share a real case. A 65-year-old gentleman took his evening blood pressure medicine, enjoyed a hearty dinner, and then decided to shower right away. Minutes later, he felt dizzy, slurred his speech, and collapsed. At the hospital, doctors confirmed he had suffered a mild stroke. It wasn't the food or the medicine alone. It was the timing. Showering too soon, after both. Research supports this as well. Studies show that showering too soon after meals can divert blood away from the brain, increasing the risk of fainting or stroke, especially in older adults with heart conditions. So here's the safer choice. Showering right after meals or medication. Blood flow divided, brain gets less oxygen. Waiting at least 45-60 minutes after eating or taking medication. Stable, balanced circulation. The lesson is simple. Your body needs time to process what you eat and the medicine you take. Make it a routine. Eat, rest, then shower. So let me ask you, do you usually rush into the shower right after meals? Or are you willing to give your body that extra hour it truly needs? And next, we'll shift our focus to walking habits and reveal how certain walking routines, though meant to keep you healthy, can actually place silent stress on your brain. Walking is one of the best exercises we have. It's free, it's gentle, and it keeps both the heart and the mind strong. But even something as healthy as walking can become risky if it's done at the wrong time or in the wrong way. Let me share 3 habits I see often. First, walking too late at night. When you walk after dark, your nervous system stays alert and stimulated. Your heart has to pump harder, your blood pressure rises, and instead of preparing your body for rest, you put extra stress on your circulation. Second, walking right after a meal. At that moment, your body is already directing blood to your stomach to help with digestion. If you start walking too soon, your muscles compete for that same blood. That leaves your brain with less oxygen, and it can make you feel weak or lightheaded. Third, walking when you're dehydrated. If you haven't had enough water, your blood becomes thicker and moves more slowly. This increases the risk of clots, especially in the early morning hours. A study published in Neurology found that people who drink less than 1.5 liters of water per day have a significantly higher risk of stroke in the morning. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine, age 72, used to walk late every evening after dinner. He often skipped drinking water because he didn't want to wake up at night. One evening, he felt dizzy halfway through his walk and had to be taken home. His doctor explained that the combination of late-night walking, a full stomach, and dehydration was putting too much strain on his brain and his heart. Here's a simple comparison. Walking late at night, right after meals, without drinking water. Walking in the early morning, at least 45 minutes after meals, carrying a small water bottle. The lesson is simple. Walking is medicine for the body, but like any medicine, the timing and the dose matter. So let me ask you, do you usually walk late at night after dinner, or are you ready to make the shift to morning walks with water in hand? And next, we'll put everything together in one place. A simple doctor's checklist to help you remember these life-saving habits every day. We've talked about many small habits today, and I know it can feel like a lot to remember, so let me make it simple for you. Here's my doctor's checklist, a gentle guide you can follow at home. Take your shower before 9 p.m. Late night showers raise blood pressure risks. Keeping them earlier in the evening helps your circulation stay steady. Drink a glass of water before and after every shower or walk. Hydration keeps your blood flowing smoothly, just like tea instead of honey. After exercise, give yourself 15-20 minutes to rest and drink water. After meals or medication, wait 45-60 minutes before showering. Your body needs that time to balance digestion, circulation, and healing. Use warm, gentle water. Not too cold, not too hot. Extreme temperatures can shock the system, but steady warmth keeps it safe. Walk in the early morning whenever possible. Stand tall, breathe evenly, and carry a small bottle of water. Walking this way not only supports your heart and brain, but also lifts your mood, reduces stress, and lowers your long-term risk of stroke. I've seen these small steps transform lives. One of my patients told me, "Doctor, I never thought something as simple as timing my showers and walks could give me so much more energy." But it did, because health is not built in one big moment. It's built on small, gentle choices, repeated every day, and every choice you make today gives you more time tomorrow. So let me ask you, which one of these checklist items will you start practicing first in your own daily routine? We've walked through many habits today, from the way you shower to the time you walk, to the small choices you make every day. And maybe you're thinking, "Doctor, can these little things really make such a big difference?" Yes, they can, because stroke prevention is not about one huge change. It's about dozens of small, gentle adjustments that protect your brain, your heart, and your future. I want you to remember this. Your health is not built in one day. It is built every day, step by step, choice by choice. So here's my encouragement to you. Pick just one change from today's video. Maybe it's drinking that glass of water before your shower. Maybe it's waiting 15 minutes after exercise. Or maybe it's moving your walk to the early morning. Start with one, then add another. And slowly your daily life will become your strongest medicine. Your health is built on small, gentle choices. And every choice you make today gives you more time tomorrow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which habit will you start practicing first? Share your answer in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next tip that could protect your health and your future. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and remember, you are never too old to build a stronger tomorrow.